Yeah. What about the power that it has on your mind, going from being in America and saying like, "Oh, this is the way that I think life is. This is the way that I think the world is," and people think, and then you go to Thailand and you're like, for the first time, you're like, "Whoa, all these things that like I've been learning about the world growing up, or that my beliefs, a lot of them are being challenged big time right now."
Yeah, I used to think that there was like an objective truth, like an objective way that you have to live, like, oh, this is correct, this is not correct. You have to
Yeah.
think along these lines. You have to be like this type
Someone's right,
of
someone's
person.
wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And like in America, they teach you, especially like as we've been growing up with like the liberalization of school in America, it's like they tell you you have to be like this. You have to think this way about these groups of people. You can't say this. You have to act like that. But in Thailand, nobody cares. Like we kind of got into the last time, like what you're like. They respect you more as it's weird because it's a collectivist culture, but they respect your individuality more in a way. I guess because you're different. I know Thai people put a lot of pressure on each other to
Yeah.
be normal, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're a foreigner over there, they don't put any pressure on you to do anything. They just let you be yourself and they think it's funny to interact with you in the way that you're like expressing yourself. So you're able to be like your authentic self 100%. You don't have to worry about any repercussions. You don't have to worry about like people hating you for the way that you think and stuff like that because you're coming from the outside, so they have no reference point of what is right or wrong for you, so you can act however you want pretty much and they accept you.
Man, that is so true, and that is seriously like an incredible experience to be immersed in. Where when you're like that, where they think it's fun and funny to be however you are, interact with you wherever you are as a foreigner, and like learn about your foreigner stuff. Man, that is like a crazy experience. They have no expectations of you. You're exactly right about that.
Like you can tell them like, oh, Americans love Donald Trump, he's the best president, and like Americans think like this, and they would just be like, okay. But like, in New York, for example, like there's always a narrative. You have to stick to the narrative constantly, and if you're not sticking to the narrative, then people just start alienating you and being like, oh, this guy is like horrible, this guy's a bad person. They make judgments about your character. In Thailand, like they don't judge your character at all because they know that they don't get it. They also don't understand most of what you're saying. So if you're a friendly, nice person, genuinely in your heart, I feel like it comes out more in like the sub communications and like people see that you're nice instead of like listening to every word that you say and judging you based on whether you the right word is coming out of your mouth or not.
You were over there. What did it make you feel about American culture or the people over in America and what they thought about you, what they thought about the things you're doing and stuff like that? Did it affect the way that you felt about how people you grew up with thought about you, or people back in your home country would think of you?
What I realized from that experience, and I've seen people like King Epic also talk about this, like once you get over there and you have that experience and you realize what life is like over there, it's like now I can't really be stressed out in America anymore on a large scale because I know that like worst comes to worst, I can just go teach English there and I will have a good, decent life. I'll have a good,
Yeah.
decent girl and I'll just be calmly drinking my coconuts and happily ever after. I know
Yeah.
that's an option for my
That
life.
is an
I could
option.
and I could just go over there and just be happy anytime and I won't be rich, I won't have a lot of stuff and I won't be like successful, but I'll be happy. So I know that like it's like my happy place now. It's like heaven, you know what I mean?
it,
Like
it helped you find peace. Having been there, it helped you find peace.
yeah, I think it did, and like peace with the world, knowing that like there are good people out there, and like there is a good place out there, and it doesn't all have to be competition all the time, and your worth as a human is not defined by possessions or anything like that. Because I met a lot of people who had nothing, but were way better people than I meet in the U.S. that have a ton of shit.
Hmm.
So like it just changed the way that I look at value of humans.
Yeah, yeah, me too. You don't need anything there, and then it kind of makes you a little bit sick when you come back here or whatever, and you see uh, value being ascribed to, like what car do you have, what designer clothes are you wearing, or like how big is your house. When you see the contrast so quickly between the two, it can kind of make you feel a little sick.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I thought that it was so funny there too that like in Thailand they sell you fake designer clothes that look real. And
Yeah.
it's just like that, like on like a metaphysical level, is just like they literally have fake designer stuff there, and you'll see people walking around in like Gucci, Armani, whatever, and it looks real. They're just like random poor people, and it's like
Yeah.
none of it like it doesn't matter, and you just realize on a deep level that it's just not important to being a human at all. It doesn't matter what it says on your shirt. It could be fake, it could be real, but at the end of the day, like it's all just made up anyways. Like I feel like it connects you with like the primal nature. Like they're more connected to the nature of just being a human, just living your
Yeah.
life and interacting with the other humans. And we're all up here like in the clouds space all the time, like
Not
on the
living in the present moment here in America. In America, in the West, we are not living in the present moment. We're always living in the future. And over there, it's like what is right in front of their eyes, that is what is going on in their life right now. Their mind is not somewhere else.